So, it's racist to be white, I guess. I don't know. I was playing Grand Theft Auto and watching a video with watching a Shoe on Head video from like a year ago, and she's talking about this dude that's just like calling Wendigoon a white supremacist and a racist, and just all these awful things, which is like he was a youth pastor and weird vibes because he was a youth pastor, and it's just like her title really hits the nail on the head. It says the video is titled "War on Normal Guys," and like that really is what this feels like. It's just like you can't be normal without being racist. So let's. I guess we'll get into it because it's kind of a long video. It's like 25 minutes, so we'll get into it because I want to talk about the whole thing basically because it's all friggin' ridiculous. I don't full screen this. Where's the full screen?
Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers. Has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism. Wendigoon
He literally doesn't.
is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. He is friends with Mutahar. He is publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist.
A few days ago, I saw this video pop up in my YouTube feed. Bad conservative horror movies. And I was immediately intrigued. I love long video essays about stupid shit like this. But what I got instead was the worst attempt at a hit piece I have ever seen on YouTube ever. So sit down and get comfy, because it's time for an old-fashioned video response. Now before we get into this video, I just want to thank today's sponsor, you. This video is sponsored by all of you who donate to me on patreon.com. I'm tired of these type of people running their mouths. And 3, this topic is pretty timeless. And that topic is what I like to call the war on normal guys. Last year I wrote a script for a video with this title, and it was about the YouTuber Wendigoon being cancelled on Twitter. For those of you who don't know, Wendigoon is a popular YouTuber who makes video about true crime, horror, and cryptids. And no, despite popular belief, Wendigoon has nothing to do with gooning. Wendigoon is what most YouTubers who don't make political videos should be. His channel is completely apolitical. I don't like clicking a video about iCarly and then having to listen to you about how much you hate Trump, or clicking a video about Fallout and hearing you go off about how Joe Biden sucks. I don't care. If I wanted to hear Milksto's political opinions, I would watch my own videos. But no, despite being non-political, Wendigoon is a great channel. He has a good community, he's very positive, he's a Sunday school teacher, he has a beautiful wife, he's friendly, funny, and kind. Which of course makes him an enemy to the most annoying people on earth. Month after month after month, I would see threads on Twitter and on Reddit about how what a terrible person Wendigoon was. But when I would go searching for reasons why, there was really nothing besides vibes.
I've never met Wendigoon, and I can confirm Wendigoon is not a terrible person. I have never met the guy, and I'm willing to vouch for him that he is not a terrible person. I mean, he sounds like a pretty cool dude. Also, doesn't like the government much, so he's all right with me.
I simply do not like Wendigoon. He has bad vibes coming off him like stinky lines. The vibes on this guy have never been right. I live in the Bible Belt. He has the vibes of the kids who would have been comfortable saying racist and homophobic slurs.
He doesn't. He doesn't. Not even a little bit. Like, if I think of people that wouldn't say racist or homophobic things, it's Wendigoon.
Me in grade school. He always gave me weird vibes. Deeply uncomfortable vibes from this guy. I initially...
You know what? I will agree. He does have weird vibes, but not in like weird serial killer vibes. More in like weird, like gonna go LARP for 3 hours in the mountains for no reason kind of vibes.
I unfollowed him because I started getting weird vibes from him. There are evil energies surrounding this man. Wait, what'd he do? He used to be a youth pastor. Some people got weird vibes, and that's fair. It's rare to see a youth pastor with good vibes. What did Wendigoon do? Honestly, a lot of it is just the vibes. I needed more.
I like how the left's argument for just like being terrible to people is just the vibes. The vibes were off.
I needed to hear some real reasons why people disliked this guy. I needed real arguments. I needed a living soy jack meme with a pedo mustache and bisexual lighting to string up and beat like a piñata. Enter In Praise of Shadows, aka Zane, a leftist video essayist straight out of the aging millennial hipster factory. Seriously, why do they all look like this? What genre of man is this? The mustache, the hair, the clothing, post-ironic neo-redneck? You know what?
Bitch. That's what type of man he is. He's a bitch.
Some people talk about how women's taste in men gets all weird and f***ed up when they're on birth control. These are the men. I'm gonna call them birth control hot. I'm in no position to talk about style. I still do my makeup like it's 2009. Zane is a horror movie video essayist who, for some reason, decided to randomly go after Wendigoon and several other popular YouTubers and myself. His video starts off with him complaining that he got a lot of hate for his take about the movie Hills Have Eyes.
The Hill people can be representative of anything that you want them to be, really. They can be Native Americans, and the hills themselves can be allegorical of them being forced back onto reservations.
You saw
I don't think that's what The Hills Have Eyes is about.
a bunch of cannibal mutants and thought of Native Americans? Anyway, he goes on to talk about how people were misrepresenting him and leaving rude comments.
The cruel and untrue things that you say about another person do in fact have direct impacts on them and the way that people culturally see them. Are these your own genuine original thoughts and criticisms that you have based on my actual words and
This guy doesn't look like he's had an original thought ever.
things that I have done, or that maybe you haven't thought critically about what you were reading online, about other people?
And about how after this video, apparently a lot of his subscribers stopped watching him, and now he's poor and can't afford rent.
There was a month last year where I only made $500 in ad revenue.
Sucks to
I can't
suck,
live
bro.
off that.
Which, if you're ever at this point, you need to get a job, or at least a side job. That's capitalism meritocracy. Either make better content, or get a job. Hey, maybe if we get communism, you can be the community YouTuber. No, I'm just kidding. Your ass is going to the mines! Then finally, an hour into the video, he gets to the topic, conservative horror movies. But then suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, it was like he accidentally uploaded a schizophrenic meltdown.
I think most of what these people do is just a schizophrenic meltdown, honestly.
If you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers. He's
literally not a conspiracy theorist. He just talks about conspiracy theories. That doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist.
That, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern-friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
Ooh, this sounds pretty bad. He's not the heckum wholesome YouTube dad we all thought. What could he have possibly done?
There are many things that are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre gun ownership.
Yikes! An American man owns guns? Not very heckin' wholesome, Wendigoon. He goes on to talk about how Wendigoon is rich, and therefore he doesn't respect Wendigoon's opinion on media.
He became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. I have no need or desire to hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire.
Like, what exactly is the correct amount of money to have where your opinions still matter? Like, if you suddenly got a bunch of video views and a bunch of patrons...
Yeah, I always love this whole, like, the left will listen to you when you're poor, but once you're a millionaire, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, millionaire. You're a piece of shit now. You're a millionaire. You're garbage. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say, especially if you become a millionaire at a young age. How dare you be successful, you piece of absolute donkey shit.
It's like you want. Would we be justified in dismissing your opinions on movies? This honestly just feels like a conservative's idea of what a leftist is. Like, it's not just about hating people for having money. Like, what is Wendigoon's position of power in relation to the means of production? Does he own a business? Does he have employees he's mistreating? Not that I know of. He's just a guy who makes YouTube videos, like you. Only difference is he's good at it and makes money, and you're not, and you don't. Okay, for real though, there's gotta be more, right? What crimes has Wendigoon committed? Well, to start, he committed the crime of having friends.
Wendigoon is very...
Everybody knows friends are the worst. How dare you have friends with Wendigoon? What is wrong with you, Isaiah? Friends? How fucking dare you? Friends. Rot in hell. You deserve hell for having friends.
Publicly friends with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together on multiple occasions, and I've seen online
I don't know who Turkey Tom is.
mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited.
They have been seen together. I have seen online mentions that he was at his wedding. He's saying this shit like Turkey Tom is wanted for murder, and not like he just said some slurs on Discord when he was a teenager. Does this guy vet like every single person he's ever—
I'm pretty sure that every teenager has said slurs at some point. Just putting that out there. Every teenager has said some slur of some sort at some point. Even the guy shitting on Turkey Tom for dropping the hard R. Because that's what it looked like was blurred out. I don't know. Might have been the I don't know if it was the or the but either way, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't think any less of this guy. Now, the lady from a couple videos ago that was just like blatantly calling black people chimps. Hey, not a big fan. That's not cool. But you drop an or an in the group chat trying to be funny, and yeah, I get it.
been friends with or spoken to? Hey, before you enter my house, I'm gonna have to go through your Discord history from 7 years ago. I was gonna say no, but I can see this guy doing that.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is—
Everybody knows that if you're friends with Donut, you're a piece of shit. I mean, Eli is a piece of shit. The Fat Electrician is a piece of shit. Angry Cops is a piece of shit. I mean, these guys are just awful. They're definitely not like wholesome dudes that do a lot for the veteran and the autism community and like care a lot about people that, you know, are going through some shit. They're obviously terrible people because they're all white. How dare they? And they all like guns. What, are they racist or something?
is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content
Donut's not gun crazed or far right. Like, he's neither of those things. Donut's like, hey, don't shoot at cops and they won't shoot at you. And like, occasionally he's like, hey, this cop was a shitbag. This cop shouldn't be a cop. Like, Donut's political opinions are pretty milquetoast.
is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death
None of those things.
to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda. For example—
I'm sorry, did this little fag just say Donut was pro-death?
My house, I'm gonna have to go through your Discord history from 7 years ago. I was gonna say no, but I can see this guy doing that.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs propaganda.
I've been subscribed to Donut for a long time. A long time. And the only people that Donut has ever said should die are pedophiles. And if you disagree with that, well, you can join the pedophiles. I also want to know, why is he talking like this? Like he's trying to do an impression of a news anchor, doing an impression of a news anchor. It's very kind of annoying. Like, I would probably fist fight this guy if I ever met him.
For example, one of his videos is titled Predator Takes Shotgun to—
So he's bitching about this title right here. Predator takes shotgun to the face, saying Donut is so pro-cop that he thinks you should die if you disagree with him. And there's literally a video right underneath, bad shot. Cop mag dumps the wrong person, calling out the cop for being wrong. The next video, Acorn scares cop into mag dumping, calling out the cop for doing the wrong thing.
the face.
I love the example he used as a literal pedophile being killed. He's very pro-death for people who don't share his beliefs. Take, for example, this pedophile. Is that what you mean by people who don't share his beliefs? Out of all the videos, why that one? You're not gonna find many people who are gonna be like, oh no, the poor child molester. Well, maybe you will, but most people won't. Also, he's trying to act like Donut Operator is just a complete simp for the police, and he's really not. Even in the screenshot you show in the background, there's like 3 whole videos in frame where he's clearly being critical of the police.
For someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself.
Actually,
yes, Wendigoon is a fascist bootlicker. And that's what I've gotten from every video I've watched, is honestly, is, you know, just like bend over and take it from the government. And when they tell you to do things, do exactly what they say. Literally, the first time I ever heard Wendigoon's voice was him saying, and remember, kids, the next time somebody says the government wouldn't do that, oh, yes, they would. That was the first time I ever heard Wendigoon's voice, was being critical of the government. This guy's sitting here saying, Wendigoon's friends with the guy who was a cop, so he likes the government. How bad is he? And then later he's going to sit there and say, Wendigoon's an anti-government extremist. And it's like, well, which one is it? You fucking dingus. Get a hobby.
We can't reasonably gather anything because you haven't given us anything to gather. You label this guy very far right, and he might be very far right, but you haven't shown anything very far right. Like, take a step back and evaluate the bare basics of what you just showed us. Wendigoon hugging someone who thinks it's okay when a pedophile dies. Okay, but let's be fair. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's something worse. Let's see.
He is friends with Brandon Buckingham, a gun YouTuber who has been accused of threatening rape.
Okay, so first of all, let's rewind. This guy is not a gun tuber. This just proved this man did absolutely no research. I'm talking like 2 seconds going to this guy's channel amount of research. And for those who are unaware, that rape thing is a complete lie. It is a complete lie made up by, sit down, Sneako. Sneako made that up, and Sneako had to apologize and admit it was a lie because it was literal slander.
If you use Sneako as a source, do us all a favor and just stop. Just stop using the internet. Like, Sneako is not a source. Sneako is just there to start shit, like 100% of the time.
Love how in his
Didn't Sean Strickland beat the shit out of Sneako one time? I want to say Sean Strickland beat the shit out of Sneako. This makes me happy.
There you go.
This makes me happy.
Jesus
You can tell Sean's like not even trying.
That's enough.
You didn't fall down, Sneako. You didn't fall down.
You didn't fall. Good work, bro.
That's the graphics and taking shots, man.
You could tell like Sean's barely trying. I digress. I just love watching Sneako get punched in the face. I dislike Sneako a lot.
little BreadTube tryout video, he uses Sneako as a fucking source. I mean, it's not like his other sources are any better. His other sources being Reddit. He got like 90% of this information from a thread about Wendigoon in a drama subreddit called R YouTube Drama. This man like borderline plagiarized Reddit comments. Source, PP-poo-poo-123 and Sneako. Nice job on the research, you fucking hack. Also, I love the screenshot he's using. This you, bro. This you showing sympathy to someone whose grandfather is dying.
He has collaborated with Nick Crowley, who constantly makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime
He has a fucking face diaper on in his little fucking profile picture. I don't think this dude's far right.
content, of showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed.
So I don't know much about this guy, but it seems like your issue with him is that he makes true crime content. I mean, personally, I'm not a huge fan of true crime content, but it's extremely popular on YouTube.
Crowley is similar to Wendigoon, in that on the surface they seem fairly edgy, but clean enough.
Wendigoon does not seem edgy. Wendigoon seems like everybody on the planet wants to be friends with Wendigoon. I want to be friends with Wendigoon. Everybody I know wants to be friends with Wendigoon. My wife wants to be friends with Wendigoon. My brother wants to be friends with Wendigoon. Everyone wants to be friends with Wendigoon.
But then you notice that he follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator.
Yes, because if you follow Mr. Ballin, you are a white supremacist, racist piece of shit. Mr. Ballin, the guy who's not fucking political at all, not racist at all, just a normal guy that likes to tell spoopy stories. Yes, if you follow that guy, you're a fucking Nazi. You might as well be Hitler reincarnated if you follow Mr. Ballin. How dare you, you scumbag Nazi fuck. What an idiot.
Surface, they look clean enough to pass the vibe check, but then you look closer and notice he follows people who don't pass the vibe check.
These people hate the police, and yet they're always like, sir, I'm gonna have to take a look at that Twitter follow list. Just absolute cop behavior. ACAB includes the follow police.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed leftists. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
Hey guys, I heard Praise of Shadows a dog. No, I don't have any proof, but it's culturally believed to be true.
He is friends with Oompaville.
I think that fucking, like, being friends with Brandon Herrera as an excuse. So your argument is Wendigoon is this terrible racist person. He's friends with someone whose last name is fucking Herrera. Are you retarded? Like, completely mentally retarded. No other option. Like, this dude's brain just doesn't fucking work.
A gun-obsessed content creator.
Oompaville! What the hell did Oompaville do? He's not even political whatsoever. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? But no, you're a bad person if you shot a gun even once. This is America. That's like saying you're a bad person if you ate a cheeseburger. His other example of Oompaville being bad is making videos about Nikocado avocado, as if anyone and their mother has not made a Nikocado avocado video. This is ridiculous. There has to be more.
He is friends with Mutahar.
Mutahar? Really? If someone can't be friends with Mutahar, they can't be friends with anyone. That dude is like so not problematic.
And has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most recent video.
Okay, nothing in Mutahar's video was transphobic at all. I don't even know why I have to entertain this. His video was transphobic at all. Friends with anyone. That dude is like so not problematic.
And has recently
Uploaded a new video regarding a serious fraud of an activist known as Kefals. Over an hour of deconstructing her various lies and examining her terrible lies will prove to you why she is a danger to people they represent and those surrounding them. Sounds like, I mean, I'm guessing this person, this activist, is a dude that says he's a chick. And Mutahar here says she and uses the they them pronouns that I'm sure they want people to use. It doesn't sound like he's being transphobic or sexist or whatever this moron said. I really think this dude is just unfuckable, and like nobody wants to. There's not a woman alive that looks at this dude and thinks, "Oh yeah, I want to sleep with him." And so he's just mad at the world, and he's just like trying to call everybody names so that like maybe that one chick will be like, "Well, I guess if all these other people are racist and terrible, I guess I'll fuck that guy."
Showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most recent video.
Okay, nothing in Mutahar's video was transphobic at all. I don't even know why I have to entertain this. Simply talking about a trans person isn't transphobia, and I wish that we could like move past this and just treat trans people like human beings and not like these like delicate little angels that we need to like step on eggshells around. It's really f***ing weird.
Who argued against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media websites.
Weird. Somebody argued for free speech in a country where our First Amendment is free speech, and that makes them a bad person. Wow. I wonder what this dude would say about my political views.
Believes in the concept of free speech for everyone. Wow. Just like the Nazis. This is what you're using to paint Mutahar as a bad person in order to paint Wendigoon as a bad person. You're running out of paint, bro.
Wendigoon is publicly connected to the Internet Historian, and has even appeared in his videos. The Internet Historian publicly said that his birthday was April 20th. It is not, and has only said that as a joke because that is Hitler's birthday.
Ah yes, April 20th, Hitler's
I'll just let her
birthday.
make
There
the
are
point
no
for
other
me.
jokes surrounding the number 420. It's a weed joke. It's like making a joke about the number 69. This is either extremely dishonest manipulation, saying April 20th instead of the number 420 so people wouldn't notice, or you are profoundly mentally retarded, sir. Who the sees a joke about 420 and automatically thinks Hitler? I'll tell you who. Somebody with preconceived notions about others. Everyone is already a bigot, so everything they say is bigoted, instead of the other way around. Looking at bigotry and coming to the conclusion that that person's a bigot.
You think this dude's an idiot now. It gets better in, like, I don't know, a couple minutes here when he says that everyone in Appalachia is a racist.
Bigot. No, you have this insane hater tunnel vision, which is why you're coming to insane conclusions like this.
We could talk about the time that Nick Spheres did a video about the disturbing movie Iceberg, who is a great horror trance creator, and in the comments of her video, he said, "We will be watching your career with great interest," which is just kinda gross.
That is a lot.
What is, we will be watching your career with great interest? How is that? Like, for all you know, he's saying, like, I'm interested in what you're doing and trying to be silly about it. Like, why everything this is fucking, this dude's an idiot.
Line from Star Wars. You really saw him being friendly with a trans person, the trans person being friendly back, and came to the conclusion.
I didn't know that was a line from Star Wars. Let's see if we can. Let's see. Let's see if it's a line from Star Wars.
Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, Master.
Move against the Jedi first. You will then have no difficulty in taking the Queen to Naboo to sign the treaty.
At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
You have been well trained, my young apprentice. They will be no match for you.
Okay, I didn't hear it at all there. I don't think that's,
And you, young Skywalker,
Here it is.
we will watch your career with great interest.
Crazy. So he's a fucking nerd. I guess being a nerd is not okay either.
That this was transphobia? For f***'s sake, man, she ooh-wooed at him.
Even the original context from Star Wars wasn't weird. It was in a mentor to mentoree way. It was in a father to son way. And these people are so retarded.
Have you ever sat back and thought, hey, maybe if I have to squint my eyes and tilt my head and glue my balls to my butthole in order to paint these people as Nazis, maybe they're not Nazis?
He has interacted positively with Garant Thumb, who has said, "The traditional family should be encouraged and strengthened. I see little to no support from the government or big media."
Oh my god. That's because the government and big media don't support the traditional family. They support divorce and creating ghettos and division in the family. The government and big media wants that shit. I see no argument against a traditional family with a mother, a father, and children. How in any way do you say that that is offensive or racist or bigoted or whatever the buzzword this time is? This dude's a complete fucking moron.
Traditional families? Not traditional families! This is how you know this video was made for one type of person and that type of person only. Because what the are we supposed to be mad at that?
For someone who is supposedly anti-government, he sure does seem to have a lot of wealthy white friends who actively work to uphold the values of the American empire.
For someone who hates the government so much, they sure have a lot of wealthy white friends who hold up the American empire. What
What does having wealthy white friends and being anti-government have in common? What does one thing have to do with the other? I can be friends with rich people and not like the government. I don't understand. Like, I really think this dude just like learned how to speak English like 2 weeks ago and is just like throwing words at the wall and seeing what sticks for his script.
What the f are you saying? It's like lefty Mad Libs. He's just chucking a bunch of buzzwords at the wall and seeing what sticks. Capitalism,
that's totally.
cops, white.
I didn't even know that that's what she said. That's funny as fuck. That is hilarious that we made the same analogy. It's a sign. Hold me. Please don't. I have a wife. She might murder me.
American Empire. Again, he sounds like a conservative's idea of what a lefty would sound like. He sounds like a f***ing Daily Wire sketch character. He goes on to talk about more
He kinda
Twitter
does.
accounts Wendigoon follows and how some of those accounts have liked problematic tweets. Now, see, I always thought fascism was hyper-nationalistic authoritarianism, but apparently it's actually when you follow people on Twitter that Walmart Noah Samson doesn't like.
He has publicly interacted in a friendly way with the account Rock Solid on multiple occasions.
Responding to someone on Twitter makes you best friends with that person. Hey, by the way, this you.
It's a fucking image of Nazi paraphernalia. A lot of people buy Nazi paraphernalia even if they're not Nazis. You don't understand what the big deal is here. I mean, like, I would buy Nazi paraphernalia, and I'm far from a Nazi. I do not like socialism even a little bit. I do not like murdering people for being different even a little bit. Not my thing, but it would be cool to have some pieces of history. I mean, like, old World War II medals in general are cool. If I found some of this stuff, I would probably buy it. It would be cool to have pieces of history. Even like replica pieces of history would be cool to have. Like I went to the Civil War Museum and I bought like, where is that shit? Here it is. I bought replicas of like documents and like I bought like a replica of like Confederate Civil War money. I bought like a replica of the Gettysburg Address and the Emancipation Proclamation. And like eventually they're gonna get framed and go on this wall behind me. But like just because I bought replica Confederate money doesn't mean I'm sitting here like put them all back in chains. I mean that is just like the dumbest argument ever. I don't understand.
Being friendly with YouTuber Sophie from Mars, who is allegedly an abuser. Is that you, bro? Because according to your own logic, not mine, that makes you and her friends, which makes you a bad person. And personally, I'd rather be friends with people who make jokes on the internet than someone who allegedly puts cigarettes out on their girlfriend's skin. But honestly, I wouldn't hold this against him.
Not kink shame, bro. You don't know what they're into.
How was he supposed to know? You throw a dart into a crowd of these people and you're bound to hit a sex pest.
He is publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist, who has built a career off of lazy anti-woke content.
He said congratulations to her wedding picture. How is that? Hey, how is she a conservative masquerading as a leftist? I mean, I'm not the biggest Shoe on Head fan. I just recently started watching her stuff. But, like, she seems like a pretty normal person. She has normal person takes. Maybe she might lean a little bit to the right, but like she doesn't seem like a conservative masquerading as a leftist. She just kind of seems like a normal person. This dude, I don't think this dude knows what the words he's saying mean.
Complaining about SJWs, who says stuff like, Karl Marx rising from the grave finding out his movement has been taken over by fat, ugly, mentally ill losers.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is I could have given you like 20 examples of way worse shit I've said over the years, but instead you choose a random joke I made on Twitter. You just went to my Twitter and found like one of the last tweets I made. This you, Wendigoon? This you, bro? Congratulating someone on their wedding day? Okay.
She forgets that leftists don't understand satire. They also don't understand sarcasm. They don't understand what a joke is. They're all retarded.
Conservative masquerading as a leftist is so funny too, because like What? What would be the point of that? Am I waiting for like a Soros check? It would be way more lucrative as a woman on the internet to just be a conservative commentator instead of pissing off all sides like I do. Also, the term publicly friends with is so funny. He keeps saying it. And like personally, it's hilarious to me because I have to be privately friends with several public figures because they are prisoners to their own audience because their own audiences are full of people like this guy. So I have a lot of respect for people like Wendigoon who will just talk to anyone they want to and aren't scared of these crybullies. Also, I think it's important to say Wendigoon and I talk on Twitter sometimes, but we're not like best friends. I've never even met him in real life. But because he has the audacity to tweet at me, now all my opinions are his. And as for the lazy accusation, you got me. Honestly, this all would have bothered me way more like a few years ago, but I'm so over it now. Go ahead and call me what you like. I take solace in the fact that every woke idiot that comes at me eventually gets their own ass cancelled into the shadow realm, and yet I remain problematic and a moron forever. And I personally can't wait until the inevitable day an army of skeletons comes marching out of your closet. What does bother me, however, is linking Wendigoon to me in order to smear him. My friends and I aren't a hive mind. And that might be easy for most people to understand, but not for these people. People like this guy, they don't have friends. They have enemies and they have temporary allies. They have.
See, here's the thing, right? Everything she's saying is true. Everything she's saying is right. And I can totally respect that she doesn't want to be like, no, I'm on team red, right? I can totally understand and respect that. She's just like, I'm just here doing my thing. And like, I'm getting, when you have people that are just doing their thing, getting drug into the political sphere because of stupid shit like this, I don't think that we have a conversation anymore. It's just like us or them. And I mean, at this point, like, welcome to our side, I guess.
People they hate and people they will eventually throw under the bus the second that person has a problematic tweet one day.
He has said many times publicly that he lives in East Tennessee. It is about as white as
This is the best part. This is the best fucking part.
you could possibly get. Deep Appalachia is very white country, and for the most part, is exceptionally racist. Genuinely in this part of the country, you have to assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise.
I have lived and traveled through Appalachia for 28 years. I almost never encounter true racists. I've encountered some racism in places like Buffalo. I've encountered some racism in Charlotte. Actually, the racism was directed towards me. It was a black guy with a few other minority people being racist towards me because he was upset that I had to make a delivery to him and I had an upset stomach and I took longer in the bathroom than he thought I should have because I had an upset stomach, and then proceeded to tell me how the white race is inferior to the black race, all white people are lazy pieces of shit, and how much he hates white people like me. But you know, yeah, all the white people in Appalachia are racist as fuck. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I just like, I don't understand. Like, I couldn't imagine being truly racist and looking at people, especially being so racist that like you look at someone who looks just like you and you think, that motherfucker just hates black people. What does that say about you internally, my guy? What does that say about your thoughts and the deep, dark, hidden down things that you want to say but you don't? To me, you know, you're probably projecting a little bit. You probably project a little bit. I have been in the ghetto. I have been in upclass neighborhoods. I have been everywhere. I used to deliver beer all over the place. Did I have some run-ins with some sketchy people in the hood? Yeah. Did I decide it was easier to just give them some beer and send them on their way because they looked kind of shady, like they might fucking rob me? Yeah, I did that. I totally did that. Dude looked shady as fuck, and he did not look happy, and he was like, hey, man, what you got for me? And I was like, I don't know, man, nothing really. And he was like, I know you got something on that truck for me. And I was like, all right, yeah, here, have a couple of these tall boys. The case is broken anyways. Like, you can have like 2 or 3 of these, I guess. I'm going to throw the whole case away anyways because I can't bring it back because the case was broken. So I'm just going to say it's not on the truck so I don't get reamed out for it. So yeah, I did that. It was like, do I get into a fight with this dude over a tall boy, a fucking ice house, or do I just give him the beer? He goes on his way and doesn't bother me. I don't have to deal with getting fucking robbed by this shady looking hobo. Like, yeah, it was a risk benefit analysis, and it benefited me to give him the beer and send him on his way. And I told him, here, take these and get out of here. And he took them and got out of there. It's shit happens. I mean, there's shitty people everywhere, I guess. I totally lost my train of thought. My point was that, like, everywhere I go, I don't see racism, especially in Appalachia. And like, I have been all over the state of Pennsylvania in Appalachia. I've been all over Ohio. I've been all over West Virginia. I've been down south in Kentucky and North Carolina, all over. And I rarely ever see racism. For this guy to sit here and say the entirety of Appalachia, which runs from like South Carolina all the way to Ireland, is racist, is fucking insane.
Holy shit. All white people from Appalachia are racist until proven otherwise. He's implying Wendigoon is low-key racist because of where he's from. He literally has no proof otherwise. No videos, no screen caps, nothing that shows Wendigoon being racist. But you see, he has to be. So because he's from Tennessee, he secretly must be. Making a broad negative generalization about somebody based on their race, but wokely, so it's okay. Appalachia is one of the poorest areas in the country. And aren't you a poor motherfucker too? I know you don't want to hear it, but the working class revolution is not just going to be full of the purple-haired Starbucks baristas. It's also going to be Billy Bob the truck driver from Tennessee. And you have more in common with those guys than you do the rich bread tubers that you're trying to suck the farts out of currently. So why don't you drop the smug liberal attitude and show some class solidarity, comrade?
Then, of course, there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Wendigo is a negative spiritual symbol. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American. But I personally have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where, say I had a black or mixed grandfather in this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it because I had some melanin in me.
Because you're a pussy.
Especially if I were more or less raised within a primarily white cultural area like the Appalachian Mountains are. And
the Appalachian Mountains aren't just white people. There's like Native Americans, and there's all kinds of other groups of people in Appalachia. It's not, do you just think that like from fucking South Carolina all the way to Canada is just fucking white? Like there's not a single black person. Like that includes Philadelphia. And I know there's black people in Philadelphia. I know there's Native Americans in Appalachia. My wife's brother, her dad is Native American. Her adoptive dad is Native American. He lives in Appalachia. Do you just think that they just don't live here? Like how fucking dumb do you have to be to think that, like, oh, Native Americans don't live in Appalachia, they all live out west on the res, because that's what I learned in history class. No, you fucking dingus.
also on top of that, just, frequently associated myself with white supremacists.
Whoa.
That's never happened.
Oh. Where was the white supremacy? You spent like 10 minutes smearing a bunch of people Wendigoon talks to, but not once did you show any white supremacy. Again, just haphazardly throwing around lefty buzzwords. White supremacy.
We could talk about his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group that, according to him, snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi organization called the Boogaloo Boys. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland, hoping that black people would be blamed for the violence, in an attempt to create racial tension.
So basically, Wendigoon was part of a libertarian group that eventually became more extreme and radical over time, and he no longer agreed with the goals, so he left it and he disavowed it. Okay.
Weird. It's almost like liberals don't understand that you can change your mind. It's because they can't, right? They can't change their mind. Once they have an opinion or a goal, yeah, no, like you're locked in on that opinion forever. You change your mind and you're out. You're not a part of the club anymore. We don't, normal people don't do that. The left is a cult, in case you're wondering.
Isn't that what you want? For him to own up to his mistakes and take accountability? You'd have a point if he was still involved in this group, or even if he was part of the group while the group was doing all these terrible things, but he wasn't. It's so funny he had to add this completely made-up factoid that the Boogaloos killed cops in order to blame it on black people, but I couldn't find that literally anywhere. In fact, I found the exact opposite. The Boogaloo Boys made sure people knew it was done by them. And it wasn't to spark a race war, it was to spark more anti-government sentiment. The Boogaloo Boys are a radical libertarian group. They hate cops. So I think this guy made up this thing about them wanting to blame black people, so people in his audience wouldn't think the Boogaloo Boys were cool. Yeah, they killed cops, but not in the based, cool way we want to kill cops. This is probably the most damning evidence they have against Wendigoon, even though he's not involved in this group anymore, but they still it up. Zane was liking tweets from people, glazing him, telling him what an amazing job he was doing for finally going after Wendigoon, our glorious Reddit white knight, basking in the attention and glory of finally slaying the bad vibes dragon. All while Wendigoon left a nice comment on the guy's video.
Wendigoon said, "Please, no one harass or comment rude things on my behalf. I do not agree with or condone meanness in any way. If you're here to leave a spiteful remark on my behalf, don't. Nothing good comes from anger. I want to apologize for people saying awful things on Twitter. I did not know this was happening and don't stand by that behavior. I followed you because I saw your Slenderman video and enjoyed it, then saw you in my recommended follows. It sounds like you strongly dislike me, and that's okay. But if I have done anything to cause that, I apologize. If I have ever spoken against you without cause or made any joke at your expense, I am sorry. I did not follow you to harass you, but if that contributed in any way, I wish I could take it back. You don't have to like me, but I hope you do not feel I have ill will against you. There's a lot you assumed incorrectly about me, but that's to be expected. I try to keep my life private in what ways I can, and my friends mentioned in the video can take up for themselves. I will only point out that your assertion about Brandon Buckingham is particularly egregious because the lie regarding a threat was made up by Sneeko when Brandon called him out on his behavior. I know you wouldn't support an internet figure like Sneeko, but you inadvertently did by not checking the source. I've made similar mistakes. Most YouTubers have at one point or another. But harmful allegations spread when people parrot rather than decipher data. I have said things in the past that I do not agree with now, and am learning to better myself daily, and each day find myself more in the wrong. I'm sorry for the things I've said to bring hurt or strife into any person or people. May God forgive me. I hope you're successful. The Slenderman video was great, and I hope you don't find myself or my audience impeding your career. And again, if you're here to leave a mean comment for me, don't be." Literally saying, hey, don't give this guy a hard time. He's wrong. It's okay. He probably didn't know. Let's just move on. And this guy's still going to continue.
Telling people not to be mean to this guy. Well, that sign won't stop me because I can't read. One comment I found on this guy's video was like,
Also, I can't read either.
Loving the Wendigoon fanboys trying to deny that he's conservative. He'll get away with it because he's popular though. He'll get away with it. Get away with what? The crime of being popular online while not agreeing with you politically? Is that what this expose is about? Wendigoon exposed, not a communist.
Honestly, yeah, that's what it is. If you're not a communist, it's not okay with these people.
Nobody gives a
So what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem? Which the answer to that is yes. But the reason that I care is because this does not belong in horror, or anywhere. I care deeply about horror, and everything that he does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces, or even, just in public in general.
What? Okay. First of all, I assure you nobody wants to be in your space, bro. Imagine the smell. But second of all, in public? Wendigoon should not be allowed in public.
So he's literally saying he's conservative, so we shouldn't allow him to talk about the horror genre or go to Dollar General. Fuck that guy. Let him starve. That's literally this guy's argument, is Wendigoon's awful because I don't agree with him politically, so I hope he starves to death, or maybe he can DoorDash his groceries, that piece of shit. Like, what an awful person.
Spaces. Wendigoon should not be allowed to exist in society because he is Twitter friends with people this guy disagrees with on Twitter.
Should not be accepted within society at all. They should not be celebrated. They should be treated for what they are. Because remember, kids, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Well, you've told us you're a lying, manipulative hack, and I believe you. But Wendigoon's actions, words, and even comments he left on your video tell us he's a good person. You're so lost in the sauce, you don't even realize all you did to the average viewer was make this guy seem like a kind person who learns and grows from his mistakes. These flimsy accusations and guilt by associations may work for the NPCs in your audience who already hated Wendigoon based on vibes, but you need to bring more to the table than unsourced Reddit comments. If you're trying to convince the average person who isn't terminally online that this guy deserves to be ostracized from society. The fact is, most people have friends they don't politically agree with. Most people make edgy jokes. Many people are into guns. Many support the police. And most enjoy when pedophiles die. These things you listed as like crimes Wendigoon's friends have done in order to smear Wendigoon do not make them fascists or Nazis. They make them normal people. At the end of the day, this...
Can I just get on my soapbox for 1 second and say that, yeah, pedophiles deserve to die? Like pedophiles 100% deserve to die. Like, they're not people. Like, that's the only group of people that I'm like, yeah, no, they're not people. I don't like othering people because I think it's a slippery slope. But pedophiles deserve to be othered, and they don't deserve to live. They deserve to be shoved feet first into a wood chipper. Anyway,
It was just a witch hunt against a normal guy. But to these people, that is the enemy. The normal guy. They can dress it up however they want, but at the end of the day, that's what this video was. An attack on normal guys. And it's always been a war on normal guys. But hey, I'm glad you deleted the video. Hopefully you learned from this, but according to your Discord messages, you haven't. Anyway.
What a douche. Zane, he, him. I'm not surprised it's a Zane, honestly. Like, that's the fucking biggest soy boy name on existence.
Hey, that was that video. I just really wanted to stick up for someone who absolutely did not deserve all the hate. Thank you again to everyone who donates to me on Patreon. You help so much. And I will see you all real soon with a new video. Bye!
I will say I am biased because I love Wendigoon. Not in a gay way because I'm not a fag. But in like I watch pretty much everything the dude makes because I find him hilarious. And I very much enjoy his content. I love watching Wendigoon videos. I've had some bad days, and I put on a Wendigoon video, and it cheers me up, and I enjoy Wendigoon. Wendigoon is I enjoy a good goon, you know? Like, I'm a simple guy. I enjoy gooning from time to time. That's all there is to it. I like Wendigoon. He's a funny dude. Like, I feel like we would get along if I ever met the guy. I hope to meet the guy one day. That would be super rad. I would really enjoy meeting Wendigoon. Honestly, he probably wouldn't like me because I'm a raging asshole. But you know, that's okay. I hope he does if we ever meet. I hope he likes me. I hope we can be friends. And I mean, if he can be friends with Grand Thumb, I could imagine he would be friends with me because I'm not much more extreme than Grand Thumb. Maybe a little bit more. I might be a little more extreme than Grand Thumb. I don't know. Grand Thumb doesn't like transitioning unless it's from your rifle to your pistol, and I don't like transitioning at all. I just want to carry a machine gun. Just don't run out of ammo. I'm joking. Transitioning's okay. As long as you're not chopping your balls off. That's what I'm trying to get at. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do either one of those things. Don't chop your balls off. Don't do that. That's not good for you. But you know, I don't know. Wendigoon just seems like a really good dude. And I know this is from a year ago. Like, you're probably going to watch this and be like, oh, this was a year ago, you stupid dummy. Yeah, I know. It's from a year ago. But the point of this wasn't, oh, look at someone smearing Wendigoon. The point of this was, this dude made a video just calling someone a Nazi, a homophobe, a transphobe, a this, a that, every name in the book. He just took all the buzzwords and just what paste he didn't eat, put on the back of them, and just smeared them across the wall, and just started using those buzzwords as he finished eating his paste, and just was like, he's that one, and 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 that one. And then just figured out how to make those buzzwords fit. Because people like this are just awful. They're just evil, hateful, awful people. I just can't stand any of them. They're just terrible, you know? It's sad when you see people like this because they just want to destroy everything. It's ridiculous. It's just they want to destroy normal people. Normal people can't exist in this world because of people like this idiot Zane that wants to sit here and say, "Oh, Wendigoon's racist because he's friends with Garantham, who's friends with Post Malone." Who gives a shit if Garantham is friends with Post Malone? I would be friends with Post Malone. Post Malone seems like a cool dude to hang out with. I'm not gonna let him give me fucking ideas for tattoos because, you know, trying to keep this all pretty. But, you know, I feel like I would get along pretty well with Post Malone. I would like to hang out with Post Malone one day. Probably get real drunk with Post Malone, too. I feel like I would get real drunk hanging out with Post Malone. I don't drink anymore, but I would probably drink with Post Malone. Like, unsub, I'm drinking. Post Malone, probably drinking. But, you know, yeah, that's all I got. That dude's a fucking idiot. And there's a million more idiots like that are just going to say ridiculous shit about people, so just don't listen to them. Like they want to make normal guys, normal people seem like off-the-wall radicals. That's like the objective, is to just make the normal guy seem like an insane lunatic. There's nothing wrong with you for liking guns. There's nothing wrong with you for going out and training in your kit. There's nothing wrong with you for being an outdoorsman. There's nothing wrong with you for being a guy who works in a city and likes to play video games. That's normal dude shit. Like, I enjoy playing video games. I've been playing video games all day because I didn't have to work. So in between making these videos, I've been playing video games while I listen to stuff to find something that I want to talk about. That was my whole day, was just playing video games and just listening to stuff to find something that I wanted to talk about, because I do want to step away from politics. But it seems like every time I try to step away from politics, somehow it gets intertwined back into it. It's like, and again, I don't want to step completely away from politics, but I want to. One of my criticisms of Charlie Kirk was Charlie Kirk's talking to conservatives, and I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm talking to conservatives. I want to get to a point where I'm talking to the soccer mom. I'm talking to the garbage man. I'm talking to everyone. I'm not just talking to you, the conservative, or to, like, my Whistling Diesel videos. They got good views because I wasn't talking about politics, but it was still my opinions on the political inferences of the video. That's not the word I wanted to use. The political ramifications of what's going on here. Whistling Diesel being wrongly accused of the tax evasion. Originally, I was like, yeah, fuck that guy. I don't like Whistling Diesel. And now I'm on Whistling Diesel's side on this, and I hope that he wins this legal battle. There is another video I want to talk about. He made another video. I want to talk about that one too. We'll get to it eventually, I think. We'll probably do it tomorrow or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of tired of talking about Trump, and like I just want to talk about other things. And this is one of those things that, like, even though it's not directly political, the left won't even let normal people exist. The left just wants to destroy. It is so infuriating. It's so frustrating. The left just wants to tear everything down. You can't be a youth pastor who has a passion for the spoopy without being a Nazi. I don't understand. Like, he's got a passion for spooky stuff and guns. And it's like, no, that's bad. You're a racist. How? I know that Wendigoon's not racist. You probably know that Wendigoon's not racist, and if you didn't, you do now. The dude's never said anything racial. The dude has defended Martin Luther King Jr., saying that his murder was wrong and it was performed by the government, which, yeah, it was. They pretty much admitted it. And saying that what they did to this man and his family was completely wrong. A racist wouldn't stand up for the leading head of a black movement. He would be like, yeah, I'm glad that they murdered him. He deserved to die. But no, instead, Wendigoon's like, yeah, this was really wrong. Like what we did here, what the government got away with, it was really wrong. Didn't like it. 2 out of 10. Gonna talk about it. Gonna call these fuckers out. I'm just saying. That's all I got. I don't know. I'm just... These people are just insane. That's all I got. I'll see y'all in the next one.